Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be doing the ultimate video for beginners when it comes to makeup, the face. So first things first we're going to address is primer. When it comes to primers are very controversial because some people hate them, some people love them, some people are like whatever, some people don't use them, some people swear by them. It all just depends on you, literally you. It just depends on you. So you can just moisturize your face and say you don't need a primer, cool. You can say you need 4 primers, cool. Whatever it is that you want to do. But I do have 2 primers here that I want to recommend to you guys because these 2 primers were what I used when I first started out. So in the summertime, my skin was really oily. And I used the Black Radiance True Complexion Shine Control Primer. I don't know how much this is, but I will leave the price on the screen. When I say this primer is amazing, it's a bit old now because I haven't used it in a while, but it has like this consistency. It's like, it doesn't make you think that it's a shine control primer, but it really is. Because it looks just like a moisturizer. But when I tell you it controls the heck out of some shine, it's amazing. And it's really, really, really cheap. I want to say this is under $5. And this lasted me like a really, really long time. So this is a really, really good primer. And it really does help with oils. So this is for if you're oily. Any time of the year, this is for oily skin. This is not for dry skin. This is for oily skin. And then the next primer that I want to talk to you guys about is the Baby Skin Instant Pore Eraser. So this is for my guys who have huge pores or some of my girls who are oily. This is a silicone-based primer. So I wouldn't recommend... Ew. This is a silicone-based primer, so I wouldn't necessarily recommend this for people who are oily. I would just recommend this for people who have really big pores, because when I say this blurs the heck out of some pores, it's amazing. So mine looks busted up because that primer smells good. But yeah, so mine looks busted up because, like I said, like I've had it. I started using this when I first started doing my makeup, but it really does help with your pores and make them a lot smaller and makes them more invisible. So yeah. And as far as primer for oily skin, for dry skin, I'm not really the person to recommend anything that's for dry skin, because to be honest, all my primers that are for dry skin are high-end, expensive primers. So I'm not really going to suggest anything, but you can do your research and find some primers that are really good for dry skin and that will really give you a lot of moisturization. But primer is the very first step. Either primer or moisturizer or both are the first steps to your face base makeup. That's the first step. You want to make sure that you have moisture within your face and within your skin before you put some foundation or anything you want to put on your face. Make sure your face is moisturized. It doesn't matter if you're oily, it doesn't matter if you're dry, because at the end of the day, your face is going to look a mess. It's going to look crackly, it's going to look cakey, it's going to look dry, it's going to look really, really bad if you don't have any moisturizer under your foundation. So primer and or moisturizer are the first steps to having a flawless base makeup application, period. Moving right along. So next we're going to talk about color correcting. So for my girls out there with darker marks on their skin, so if you have like dark marks or acne marks or scars on your skin, color correcting is your best friend. Let me just tell you that real quick. For my darker girls, you're going to want to use an orange corrector, because orange will balance out the darkness in your skin depending on your color, depending on your skin complexion. You can mix the orange with like a more natural concealer, so that, for example, what I do is I have small dark marks on the sides of my jaw. So I take the LA Girl concealer, and this is a really good concealer. LA Girl has some really, 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 really good concealers, and their shade range is just out of this world. So I take the orange concealer and I conceal everywhere I have dark marks, and then I go over it with the NYX Full Coverage Concealer, the same concealer I mentioned in the beginning of this video. Yes, that concealer can be used for multiple things. So then I also go in with that concealer on top of the orange. And the reason why I do that is so that when I put on my foundation, it won't have this orange tint under the foundation. So before, I used to just put the orange concealer on, and then over that I'll go over with my foundation. And basically the orange concealer just completely changed the color of my foundation, and I was sitting up there looking like I was about to say something, but I'm not even gonna say it now. But anyway, so I was literally looking really orange. I was looking real orange. So with that being said, that's why I tell you to go over the orange concealer with a more skin toned concealer, with a concealer that's a little bit close to your skin tone, because it's going to conceal your dark marks while at the same time still balancing out the color of your foundation. So that's color correcting. And if you're like white or if you're lighter, you know, they have peach correctors out there for you guys. So, you know, they have green correctors, a bunch of different correctors. You can look up a guide of color correctors to use depending on the color of your skin, and they have that all over Pinterest and all over Google. So yeah. So the next thing is powder under your foundation. So this has become increasingly popular because people with oily skin has found that it's really, really working. So basically the theory is you take your beauty sponge or your brush or whatever it is that you want to take, and you go in with some translucent powder. Okay, now every powder isn't translucent. You can't just go and pick up a powder and say, oh, this is some powder, I'm gonna use this as translucent. No, it's not gonna work. You only have certain powders. You have powders that are regular, but you have powders that are setting powders, which are, do you have can I talk? You have translucent setting powders, and then you have regular face powders. They're not the same, okay? They're not. So just hear me out. They're not the same. When you go under your foundation with powder, you need to go under your foundation with a translucent powder. All right, so if you're oily, not for dry skin, that's crazy. Do not use that for dry skin. But for oily skin, if you want to control your oils throughout the day, what you can do is go in with a translucent setting powder. Take you a beauty sponge or a brush or whatever it is that you want to use, and go in and apply the translucent setting powder. Now I get laugh lines here, and I get a little bit oily right here on my nose, just a little bit, and a little bit on my chin, and a tad bit on my forehead. So what I did this morning before I applied my foundation, I applied my color corrector, and then I applied the concealer over the top, and then I went in with some translucent setting powder, and I applied it here on my chin, here on my nose, and on my forehead. That's what I did. You don't want to apply too much. Just apply a little bit, just enough to keep those oils in check throughout the day, okay? That's the first thing you want to do. But only use the powder method if you really need it. You don't have to, I mean, it doesn't make your makeup cake or anything, but it's just like if you have dry skin, there's no use in using the powder method, powder under the foundation method. If you have dry skin, that doesn't make any sense. So I'm trying to look at these tips because some of them I am forgetting to say. Okay. So after you apply the foundation, after you apply the translucent powder under your foundation, it's time for the foundation. Finally, time for the foundation. I have a couple of foundations down here that I want to talk to you guys about. So the first foundation I'm going to talk to you guys about is my absolute favorite drugstore foundation. This is my absolute favorite. I cannot get enough of this. This is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation in the color Mocha. Oh my gosh. If you watch my videos, you know I love this. You know I freaking love this stuff. Like, it's literally amazing. It makes my skin look so freaking flawless. I don't understand what they have in it for it to be $7, but it's a freaking amazing. So I really love this foundation, and it's, like I said, it's only $7, so it's really, really affordable, okay? Really affordable. So the next foundation, and this is actually the foundation that I'm wearing today on my skin. This is the Maybelline Super Stay Full Coverage Foundation. 24-hour foundation at that. Who you know? Okay. This is the Maybelline Super Stay Foundation, and it looks like this. If my camera will focus. Okay. There we go. So yeah. This is the foundation I'm wearing today. I think this is maybe $8, and it also has a pump. So come through Maybelline, and it really is full coverage. When I was putting it on today, it really is full coverage. Like, it lasts all day. Okay, it lasts because I've touched up maybe 3 times, and I've had my makeup on since 8 o'clock, and it's literally almost 7 o'clock. So almost 12 hours, and my makeup is still looking this bomb. Who you know? I'll wait. Those are the only 2 foundations that I wanted to talk to y'all about. The rest of the foundations that I use are higher end, or they're just not good enough to be mentioned in this video. It's just point blank, period. Next, we're going to talk about what to do after you apply your foundation. So to achieve maximum coverage, what I like to do is use a brush. I know some people like to blend their foundation out with beauty sponges, beauty blenders, but they soak up the product to me. Some of the products, at least. They soak up some of the product to me. So I like to use a brush to blend out my foundation because I feel like it gives me maximum coverage. And after I blend it out with my brush, I like to go back in with my beauty sponge, and I just kind of like do this, and I just do that all over my face because I feel like it makes my foundation look a little bit more skin-like. So it kind of like busts it into my skin, so it makes it look a little bit more like skin instead of just like foundation sitting on top of your face. That's all for foundation. That's all my tips I have for foundation. Just make sure you buffing it in. Don't like slide it all, buff it in with a brush. And then going with a beauty blender, and make sure y'all finding your correct shades. Okay, when it comes to foundation, you have to talk. Let's talk about undertones. Okay, let's talk about undertones. So you have multiple different undertones in foundation. Okay, you have gold undertones, you have olive undertones, you have neutral undertones, which is kind of the same thing as olive undertones. You have red undertones, you have yellow undertones, you have golden undertones. I don't know if I already said golden undertones yet, but either way, like you just have to make sure you finding. Okay, you have to make sure that you finding the right undertone for your skin complexion. We want to talk about undertones. So if you have a skin complexion where you have a yellow undertone, you're going to want to find a foundation that has a yellow undertone. Red undertone, find a foundation with a red undertone, etc., etc., etc. Okay, undertones are basically like tones that go beyond just the surface of your skin. So you can say that girl is caramel color. Okay, but what's her undertone though? She got a yellow undertone, gold undertone, red undertone. What's her undertone? So you gotta find your undertone first before you can be able to know your foundation color. You can't just go and pick up a color just because it looks like you. You have to know your foundation color and your undertone. So that's a separate video. If you want me to talk about all about undertones, if you want me to talk all about undertones and foundation colors, just let me know because that's a whole nother video in itself. So just let me know and I will make a video on that. But until then, we have to keep it moving. Next on the list, okay? All right, so let's talk about concealer. Okay, so here's the thing. So a lot of people get highlighting like under your eyes, like this highlighting mixed up with like this highlight. It's not the same. It's not the same. So here's the difference. So when light hits you, light naturally hits you in multiple different areas. In this area of your face, on each side, under both your eyes, your nose, like right here on your chin, like your forehead. So light doesn't hit you all over here because it's over here. Like light hits you right here directly in the center of your face. So that's why we use concealer to basically highlight that. And we use lighter concealers than our natural skin tone because we want to bring out, like make it stand out, you know? So some people use like concealers that are really, really close to their skin tone, and some people use concealers that are really, really light from their skin tone. It's all up to you. Whatever you decide to do, just don't be going out of hand. Just don't be getting out of hand with it. But it's all up to you. So what you want to do is make sure that you're finding a concealer that is not too light, but it's also a couple shades lighter than your natural skin tone or your real skin tone, and apply it under your eye. And naturally you want to apply it in like a triangle shape because that's how light hits us. So these lights I have now is hitting me directly here in the center of my face, and that's why I highlighted here, because obviously you can see that this part of my face is lighter than like this part, right? Yeah, because I highlighted that with some concealer. Now I have some different concealers that I want to mention to you guys today, but before I mention that, I also want to mention where else I highlight. So down the bridge of my nose, as you can see, the tip of my nose is looking like Rudolph. Hello. All right, and then my chin, like right here. And here's another thing. This is like a trick that you can use if you have like a big chubby face or like a really slim face. So my face is a little bit chubby, so what I do to slim it out and make it a little bit more like I do is I go along my nose with my concealer, and then I blend my concealer up to kind of give the illusion that my face is like, you see what I'm saying? Yeah, you see what I'm saying. And then I also use contour to make it that way too, but that's you know, on down the video. But yeah, so that's a trick that I use. And so for the concealers I'm going to show you guys are actually 5 different concealers. Okay, I'm gonna give you a nice range of concealer. So the first concealer I'm talking about is the ColourPop No Filter Concealer. This concealer is about $5 or $6, and it is the Balm.com. Okay, this is actually my color correcting shade. I just reached in my drawer and pulled out a shade. So this is what I would not use this to highlight, but this is a really good concealer. It's full coverage. It's not like super duper full coverage, but it's like it's between medium and full coverage. So, you know, depending on if you have like darker under eyes or whatever it is that you have under your eye, you can gauge it that way, whether you want a super duper full coverage concealer or not. So this is a really good concealer to use. And this is the Maybelline Fit Me concealer, and this is also a really good concealer. It's really like wet, so it's not like really creamy. It's kind of like really liquidy. So I would recommend this for people who have drier skin or drier under eyes, because the consistency of it is really watery. So I would recommend this to someone who doesn't already have oils pouring down their face. And the next concealer is the LA Girl Pro Concealer. I already mentioned this before. This concealer is literally like $2 or $3, and it's the absolute bomb. When I first started out using makeup, this is the only concealer that I was using, and it's a really good concealer, and they have amazing shades. The next concealer is the e.l.f. 16-Hour Camo Concealer. I was actually talking to one of my classmates today, and she was like, girl, I don't like e.l.f. products. And I was like, oh, baby, you don't like e.l.f. products, but you're going to like this e.l.f. Camo Concealer. You're going to like this e.l.f. Camo Concealer. No, but seriously, this concealer is really bomb. When I first tried this, like when this first came out, like everybody like, oh my God, like the e.l.f. Camo Concealer. Like everybody's like losing their heads on YouTube, and I'm like, e.l.f. going crazy over e.l.f. Like e.l.f. Baby, I tried this concealer. This concealer is $5. Excuse my broken nail, but it's $5. I tried this concealer, completely blown a freaking way. This concealer is so freaking full coverage. So freaking full coverage. And then it has amazing blendability. It blends out like a dream. This concealer is the freaking bomb. This is actually my absolute favorite drugstore concealer. Sorry to rest of y'all. This is my absolute favorite drugstore concealer. I don't really use this much because I use a lot of my high-end concealers, but this concealer for $5 is freaking amazing. Hands down, it's a freaking amazing. And next, the last one I had to show you guys is the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop concealer, and it looks like this. And I mean, it's good. It's about $8, I think, $7 to $8. It's not just like the absolute best. I've only used this a couple of times and it worked well when I used it. It's not the absolute best, but it's not the worst. So these, I feel like these are a really good range of concealers that you can buy, because you can find all of these at Ulta. I think they have LA. Yeah, you can find literally all of these products at Ulta. And then you can find all of these except the ColourPop one and the LA Girl one, I think, at Walmart. I don't know, but I will leave links in the description box where you can find all of these products. So when you apply your concealer under your eye, you want to give it a little bit of time to dry down. The reason why I say this is because most concealers, they give off the most maximum coverage after they've dried down a little bit. You don't want to let them like completely dry, because you're gonna be looking crazy, but you do want to let them dry down just a little bit. And so it gives you maximum coverage, because while it's still really wet, it's just going to kind of move around on your face. So you kind of want to let it dry down just a little bit, not get tacky, but right before it gets tacky, you want to, you know, let it get to that point first, and then you want to blend it out. And it literally will give you like absolute maximum coverage, like maximum coverage. I'm talking, especially this e.l.f. concealer, like, okay. And then you also want to conceal for your face shape, and that's basically what I was talking about earlier when I said my face is kind of fat, and I like go up a little bit long, like a little bit higher on my forehead to make it like a little bit more slimmer. And so if you have like a slimmer face and you want to look you want it to look a bit more round, you can just go out wider with your concealer. Yeah, so that's all the tips I have for concealer. I'm going to go into contouring. So we already talked about highlighting. Now we're going to talk about contouring. I forgot to talk about setting powder, so let's go rewind, talk about setting powder real quick. All right, so I have 2 setting powders to show you guys today, and the first one is the Midnight Banana Powder. Now these, this setting powder is for people, I'm not gonna say it's especially for, but it's a yellow powder, so it works really well for people of a darker skin complexion. And oh my goodness, let me hit this stuff. It's all over the place. It's really finely milled. And I used to swear by this stuff before I got the Laura Mercier. The Laura Mercier basically made me abandon the Ben Nye, but the Ben Nye is really, really good. And I got this from Amazon, and this lasted me like a long time. Now I have this stuff every freaking way. But yeah, this has lasted me a really, really long time. And I want to say maybe it was like $7, but it's amazing. This is really, really good. And then the other setting powder that I have is the Maybelline Fit Me powder, and it looks like this. This is in the color Deep. They have other colors, of course. So basically what you want to do is go in with your, I'm going to literally give you like, so you're going to go in with your beauty blender. This is not damp. That's why it's so hard. Let me find something that's damp. Okay, this is damp. So you're going to go in with your beauty blender. You want to use the side like that. And then you're going to go in with your powder. You're going to blow off the excess, and then you're just going to go running out like that. And set all, and then you want to go and set all the areas where you highlighted it with your concealer. So I'm just kind of touching up a little bit with this. But that's what you're going to do. You're going to actually have product on it. I have barely any product on mine, but yeah. So you're going to go and just blend it out, and then you're gonna want to, some people bake. Now as far as baking goes, I'm not really big on baking, simply because my skin up under my eyes gets a little bit crusty sometimes. Like it gets a little when I put too much, when it's just too much going on, sometimes it gets like it starts to crease. So I don't really like to bake. I just kind of like to let mine sit for like a minute tops, and then I'll take a brush and I'll just dust it away. But you can bake if you want to. Some people will swear by baking, some people don't bake at all. It's really up to you. So you just, my advice to you is honestly bake one time. The next time don't bake. And then the third time don't bake, but don't wipe it away right away. Just kind of let it sit for a little while and then wipe it away. And see out of the 3 different tries or options, which one you like the best. That's my advice to you, because that's what I had to do. So now it's time to go into contouring. Let's talk about contour and bronzer. All right, so the difference between contour and bronzer is basically like, okay, so contour is like when you go in with your cream, and then you're gonna apply it, and then you blend that out, and then you go over that with bronzing powder. So that's like when you're contouring. The main difference is bronzing just adds like a little, like a wash of what's it called? Like a bronzing really just adds like a wash to your face, like a little wash. Contouring is like, baby, you gonna see these jawbones today. That's the difference, really. The thing between liquid and powder, a lot of people get confused between like liquid contour and powder contour. Like, which one do I use? What do I do? So here's what I do. I never liquid contour, because to be honest, it takes too long. Like I said earlier, most of the time I'm always in a rush when I'm doing my makeup, so I don't have time to go in with some concealer and blend that out and then go over that with powder. Your girl ain't got time. But when I have time, I do it. However, this is the LA Girl Pro Concealer, and this is in the color Mahogany. It's really, really, really dark. This is way too dark for me to be contouring with, but this is what I have bought. It's like, yeah, imagine that on my face. Yeah, I have contoured with this a couple times before. It's really, really dark, but I've used it. And like I said before, they have a range of shades, so you can always go lighter than this. But there are other concealers that you can use to conceal your face. And basically what most people do is they use a concealer that's darker, and then they go over, they apply it like to all around their face. Basically they apply all around here, they apply here, and then they go around the jawline, and then some people even apply it on their nose, and then they blend it out. And then after they blend that cream or liquid contour out, they're going to go over that with some powder. And so I have multiple different powders over here. Now, doing that is contouring, but you can skip the cream or the liquid step and just go straight to the powder, which is what I do on the most of the time. That's what I do. And technically, if it's just a wash of color, it's called bronzing. So when you bronze, you take a powder that's literally like maybe 2 or 3 shades darker than your natural skin tone, depending on how extensive the shades are. You're gonna take, you know, a powder that's a couple of shades darker, and then you're just gonna apply the wash to your face. That's bronzing, and then you have contour. But I'm going to show you guys the powders that I have that are really, really good, that are also inexpensive. So this is the True Complexion Black Radiance Contour Palette, and this is the medium to dark one. And it looks like this. This thing is literally, I think, about $5. So it doesn't come with a mirror, but it does teach you how to, and this is amazing for beginners. If you're a beginner and you're struggling with contour and highlight, get this palette. It's literally $5. And it comes with a highlight shade, a contour shade, and then like a sculpting shade, which I don't use this, but still. And it literally shows you how to do it all on this thing. So it's like, you get all this for $5. Like, come on now. Get with the program, okay? But I love this. This is amazing. Black Radiance is doing the thing, but I love this. I've been using this since I started. I was 15 years old using this, and I'm 21 now. So that goes to show you just how well this is. I have like 3 backups of this because it's freaking bomb. All right, so the next palette, I'm going to show you the palettes I have first, and then I'm going to show you the individual powders that I have. So the next palette I have is this Blushing and Bali palette by BH Cosmetics. And I think this was about $12, but I did buy it on sale, so probably a little bit more than that. This, oh my god, what a girl. I gotta apply some. Y'all better be glad I ain't got none of my brush stuff here right now, because I would have been applying some of this. Oh my gosh, it's so gorgeous. So this is the Blushing and Bali palette from BH Cosmetics. And it comes with 3 blushes and 3 highlighters. Now, this is actually, what are we doing? This ain't got no contour in it. We ain't got to the highlighting blushing part yet. Anyway, so this the other palette by, this is the other contour palette that I want to talk to you about. Forget about the blushing palette right now. We're going to talk about this other contour palette. This is the Makeup Revolution X Roxy palette. And this is a contour and highlight palette. So it comes with contour shades in it. And these are some really, really pretty contour shades. This is basically, this is helping me give you an example of bronzer. So for example, I would probably use that to bronze my skin. As you can see, that's barely darker than my skin tone, because it's going to be good enough to bronze. It's just going to add a wash of color to my face. But this is going to be used to contour because it's a lot darker than my skin tone. And it's going to be really, it's going to be more harsh. So that's the difference. I hope you guys understood that. Like I said before, if it's anything in this video you didn't get or you don't understand, comment in the comment section below. Or if you have me on Snapchat or whatever, you can send me a quick message. But yeah, so you have these shades, and then these shades here are for highlighting, and they are freaking gorgeous. And then these, well, basically the contour shades are on this side, and then highlight shades are on this side. So you have highlights, and then you have contour. Now when it comes to we're not going to talk about highlight right now because we haven't got to that portion of the video yet. But yeah, so let me look at my notes, because let me make sure I'm just giving y'all my notes, just trying to make sure I'm hitting all the tips that I want to hit. So yeah, basically you're going to take like your brush, and then you're going to go in with your powder, and you're going to, not something this small, something bigger, of course, but you're going to want to, like, you know, you're going to want to do that, and then, you know, just get all up in there now. All right, so the next 3 products that I want to show you guys that are really inexpensive is the L'Oreal True Match Super Blendable Powder. This is about $8. This is really good. You can find this in a couple shades darker than your skin tone. You can use it as a contour or a bronzer. The same with this Black Radiance powder. It's really good and creamy. And the exact same with this Maybelline Fit Me powder. It's really good and creamy. So any of those powders will be good for you to contour and or bronze. And any questions, you can see me in my office. To blush and highlight. First, we're going to talk about blush. Now, blush is meant to be applied to the high points of your cheeks. So what I like to do when I'm applying my blush, I do this. Apply here on the balls of my cheeks, and then I go back a little bit. You want to make sure you're really careful with this, because depending on the type of blush you're using, it can be really pigmented and literally just get way out of hand. So you want to be careful with this, especially if you're of a darker skin complexion, because certain bronzers are just not made for us. I'm sorry. So let me just keep it 100 with you. I'm going to show you an example of a blush that I would absolutely positively never ever use in my life. This one right here. The color lychee, whatever. As you can see, oopsie. Let me swatch it. What am I going to do with that? Besides nothing. That is not for me. Never will be for me. So you have to be able to know what's for your skin tone and what's not. So for example, that's the color lychee. That's a color that I would never use. Okay, meanwhile, let's swatch pomegranate. Now pomegranate is a color that I have used. This is pomegranate here. It's a blush color that I have used before. So that's pomegranate. So I can use that. It's darker, you know, it's a bit more closer to my skin complexion. It's a bit easier for me to work with, but I can work with it in small amounts, but I can work with it. But this is nothing but ashy, and I can't do nothing with that but look like a fool. Like, let me be quiet. But anyways, so that's the Blushing and Valley palette. So I also have two other blushes that I want to talk to you guys about. I have the one that I use all the time is by Anastasia Beverly Hills, and that's not inexpensive, so I'm not going to be mentioning that. But these two are from ColourPop, and I think they're about $6 a piece. And this one, which is called Whistle While You Work, I never use this one because it's a bit too much. I mean, it can work for my skin tone, but probably like my winter skin tone. So that's that right there. It's a bit much, so I don't normally use that one. The one I normally use is the color Constrict, and yeah, that's definitely for me. That's definitely for me because it's really natural. It's really wearable. It's right there. It's really wearable. It's really dark, so it's really close to my skin complexion. So I love this one. This is the Makeup Shayla and ColourPop collab, and they did the bomb. They did their thing with that collab. All right, so that's blush. So you don't have to wear blush. You wear blush if you want to. You don't want to wear blush, that's fine too. I honestly never even wore blush up until recently. So up until about 6 months ago. So let's move on to highlight. So there are multiple things of highlight. You have, now they have like cream highlight, cream blush, but we're not going to get into all that today. If y'all want to talk about that, y'all can let me know in the comments and I'll make a part 2 of this video. But this video is already going to be really long. So this is the ColourPop highlight, and it's, as you can see, it's like a finely milled powder. So you're gonna want to be really careful with this because for one, you can get it everywhere, and for two, you can just get it all over your face and look like a complete clown. You don't want that. So this is only about $7, I think, $6 maybe. So this is really good and expensive for darker skin tones. This is in the color Boomin'. This is also Makeup Shayla and ColourPop's collab. It's not the same collab. This came out after this did. So it's 2 different collabs, but you can just go to ColourPop's website, go under collabs, go to Makeup Shayla, and you'll be able to find all these products. Well, not all these products, just these. All right, so the next one I want to talk to you guys about is the Wet n Wild highlighting powder. And this is the Mega Glow powder. Oh my freaking gosh, you guys. When these came out, everybody was losing their freaking minds. And honestly, I see why. I don't have any more room. Look at that. Woo! It's burning my eyes to even look at. It's freaking pigmented as all get out. It's really gorgeous. And it's only about $5. So it's really good. And then the next highlight I want to talk to you guys about is the ColourPop. This is another ColourPop highlight, and it's also finely milled, but this is not a collab or anything. It's just a ColourPop highlight, and I've been had this for years. It's way too light. It's in the color Flexitarian, so I just use it like my inner tear duct sometimes. And then the last one, which is my absolute favorite, and that's actually my newest highlight, or is the Fenty Beauty one my newest highlight? I can't remember, but I do know this is the Amuse Cosmetics Illuminator, and you can find this on Shop Miss A for $1. And it is freaking amazing, okay? Oh my goodness, look at that. Look at that pigment. It is freaking amazing. So this is actually my favorite highlighter right now. Shh, don't say nothing. But this is my favorite highlighter right now. So yeah. Don't tell ColourPop though. Okay. So when it goes to highlighter, what you want to do is take a highlighting brush and basically, and I'll post a picture of a highlighting brush on either side of the video because my brushes are all the way over there and I do not feel like going over there. So you just want to highlight the high points of your cheeks. I have a little bit on my finger. I'm a little bit. Want to highlight the high points of your cheeks, down the bridge of your nose, you know, a little bit right there. Pretty much wherever you want to highlight, honestly. Like, there's no rules to highlight. Just don't drown yourself in highlight and so you'll be sitting there looking like a doggone fool. Don't do that. And then after you highlight and apply your brush, it'll be good for you to go in after that with some setting spray. Just spray your setting spray and then go over with your beauty blender and just kind of like blend it in. Just so it won't be looking like a line of highlight on your face because it looks crazy. I'm telling you, I used to do it before and it looked crazy. So just don't do it. So next, let's go right into setting spray. I literally have like detailed notes, y'all, like detailed notes. So next we're gonna go into setting spray, eyeliner, and mascara. For setting spray, I have 3 setting sprays that I want to mention to you guys. And setting sprays are really just self-explanatory. Like, you don't have to say, this is how you use a setting spray. Setting spray is a setting spray. Spray the heck out of your face with it. I'm just kidding. Don't spray too much, but you don't spray enough. So I have 3 I want to mention to you. I'm going to go cheapest to most expensive, which none of these products are expensive, but cheapest to most not cheapest. This is the NYX First Base Primer Spray. It can be used as a primer and or a setting spray. So I'm actually going to spray my face with all these sprays just to show y'all how you know, like, when it comes to setting spray, like, it literally does not matter that much. Then you want to go over it and kind of blend it out with your sponge, just to make your makeup blend into your face and look more natural and skin-like. Ow. And I think this is about $6, but if not, I'll put the price on the screen. And I also use this when I'm about to apply like a shimmer on my lid, and I spray the brush with it and then I apply it on my lid, and it makes my eyeshadow looks like eyeshadow colors like pop. That is the NYX Bare With Me Prime Set and Refresh Spray. Now this is also a primer and a setting spray. You can use it for either or both. And I'm gonna now when you've been wearing your makeup all day, this is so refreshing. Like, setting spray is so refreshing. But I don't really like the mist on this, but this is a really good setting spray and primer spray. Just, you know, to lock your makeup in place and have it lasting all day. Setting spray is literally the base. So if you want your makeup to last all day, if you want it to look good all day, setting spray, you need a setting spray. You need to make sure you're setting it with a setting spray. Especially if it's hot outside, you're going to want your skin to be moisturized. You're going to want to make sure your skin is not getting dry under your makeup and it's not, your oils are not working in overtime, and then you're gonna go to getting really oily and your skin is gonna melt off your face. You also want to make sure your skin is really moisturized and setting sprayed down when it's hot, when it's cold outside too, like times like today, because it was like the high was like 40 something. It was cold. Oh, by the way, that NYX spray was $10. And then this is the Morphe Continuous Mist Spray, and this is $16, and it's really good. And this is my absolute favorite setting spray. I love it. It's just amazing, you guys. Just go try it. I'm not going to recommend anything to y'all that's not thebomb.com. So look, just go try it. Pick one of these 3 and go get it. But I would really prefer you to get this one because this is my favorite one. The best eyeliner that I have for you guys today, honestly, because I don't go through eyeliners like that. I only have like one black eyeliner that I use all the time. I don't really have like multiple different types of eyeliners. And the other one is kind of expensive, so I'm not going to recommend that to you guys. I'm going to recommend this one. This is the Sephora brand, and I know y'all thinking like, Sephora, this is expensive. Yeah, this one is not that expensive. I think this is maybe $10. So actually mine dried out because like I left the top off of it and it kind of dried out. So yeah, so I just kind of broke it off, but this is what it looks like though. I'll leave a link in the description box. This is the colorful waterproof contour eye pencil, and it says 12-hour wear. This is my absolute favorite. I love this thing. That's why I have to like sharpen it again, make sure that's dried again, because I love this pencil. But yeah, so this is a really good pencil because it lasts all day. It's the most creamiest eyeliner pencil I have ever used in my life. It lasts all day, and it's really black, and it's really like vibrant, and it's waterproof. So this is an amazing pencil, and I love it. And let's see, eyeliner, mascara. So the best mascara I can recommend to you guys is the NYX Worth the Hype Volume and Lengthening Mascara. It looks like this. This is the baby size of it. But this is the only mascara that I have that is inexpensive, and it's really good. It's really good. I can't, like, look at the bristles on it. Look at that. Like, girl, bye. But no, seriously. This is a really good mascara. It's hard for me to explain why and how I like mascaras. I just know I like them. It's hard to explain. So this is really good for voluming and lengthening, as the title said. Okay, and it's really black. So it's called Worth the Hype. All these products will be left in the description box below. And also, when you put on your lashes, you want to apply mascara before or after. Whether you put, some people will apply the mascara before they put on their false lashes, and then they put on their false lashes, and then some people do put on their false lashes first and then apply their mascara, and then some people do before and after. It's really up to you. I don't really like getting a lot of mascara into my false lashes, especially now that I'm wearing the ones from my lash collection. I don't want to have them all filled with mascara. So most of the time I just put on my false lashes first, and then I go in with this, and then I apply just a little bit, and I kind of apply it like to push up my natural lash. So basically I try to apply it, the most of the mascara, to my natural lash, so that I don't have mascara on my false lash. And excuse, I just had company, you guys. Like, I'm almost done with this video, and my company is here to like have, you know, some time with us. So if you hear that in the background, just, you know, just act like you don't hear it. Okay, next. The last things with an S we're gonna talk about is lips. So we're gonna talk about lipstick and lip gloss. We're gonna talk about liner, and then like lip liner. So first we're gonna start with the lip liner. So I have 4 lip liners here for you guys today. So the first one is this Wet n Wild lip liner. To be honest, the stuff is wiped off of it, so I don't really know exactly what it's called, but all I can make out from this pencil is that it says Kohl, like Kohl eyeliner, and it's Wet n Wild. It says Pretty in Mink, I think. So that's the color of it, and it's really dark. So it's really dark, and yeah, it's like literally close to black, and I like that sometimes for my lips because I like to add like a gradient effect. So that's a really good eyeliner pencil. The other eyeliner is from ColourPop. This is the Lippy pencil, and this is the BFF4. It needs to be sharpened, so I can't really swatch it for you. That's why I said a little bit for you. And it's really light, so it's about the same complexion. It's about the same color as my skin tone, almost. Just a shade darker. But this is a really creamy pencil. That's why I love ColourPop's lip liners. And this is another ColourPop lip liner. This is the BFF4, which is the next one in line to the BFF3. And it's a lot darker than that. I have this on today. And as you can see, it's like really dark. Well, not really dark. Not as dark as the Wet n Wild one, but it's dark enough. So as you can see, I just line my lips with it again, and you can literally tell that it is on my face. So I love this one. This is actually my favorite lip liner because ColourPop lip liners, I think about $5, and that's really a really good steal. So this is the BFF4, and these are also the collabs with Makeup Shayla. Makeup Shayla, she didn't collab to make BFF3. BFF3 was already by ColourPop, but when she collabed with them, she went and took BFF3 a hint darker and made BFF4, and that's her collab. And then the last one I have is from NYX, and this is in the color Cabaret. This is just like one with like a red tint to it, and I love this one because red looks really good on my lips. And yeah, so I didn't have this on today, but I'm putting it on now because I want to. Period. Their lip liners are not as creamy, but they do have really good colors. So yeah, I'm not sure how much this was because I got this from my local beauty supply store, but I'll try to find it online and link it below. Now the rest of this bag is full of lip products. These are all my favorite lip products. And I was like, I'm not going to show them all these products, but then I was like, I got to show this, I got to show that, I got to show that. So now, Here I am showing y'all all these lip products. First, we're gonna go by brand. So we're gonna start with NYX. 5 products from NYX, and these are, I wanted to make sure I had a range of shades for like all skin tones. So I think this is a pretty good range for what I have in my collection. So this is the color, this is the Butter Gloss, and their butter glosses are just really like buttery. I know it's literally buttery. Like it's really like, it's not sticky. It's just kind of like really creamy and buttery like that. So this is in the color Creme Brulee, and it's like a light pink color. And as you can see, it's just really, it's not really like, it has pigment to it, but it's not like super duper pigmented to the point where it's a lipstick. It's still a gloss. And then the next one I have, I actually bought this recently. This is in the color Praline. And I want to say, no, I'm not wearing this one today. No, I am wearing this today. Well, I was wearing this earlier, and then I switched to another one. And then I switched to another one. So I've been wearing different lip colors all day. And this is the color Praline. And as you see, it's perfect for women of color. It's like that raspberry colored with a brown hint to it. So it's really good for women of color. So I'm going to swatch it on my lips so you can see how good it is for women of color. Like it just blends right into my natural skin complexion. Yes, girl. Yes. And then the next one I have is the Butter Gloss in the color Bitter Honey. And I love this color as well. And it's perfect for women of color as well. It's more like a rosy pink, but you can't really tell. Like I said before, like you can't really see the rosy pink in it. It's like once you blend it out, your lips, it kind of just blends in with your natural skin complexion. And that's the thing I love about their butter glosses. You can get one and it adds just a small tint, but it doesn't completely change the color of your lips. And the last one I have, the last butter gloss I have is this Intense Butter Gloss. And this, I usually put this in the middle of some of my lip glosses because it's intense. So it goes really, yeah. So it's, you can't tell from the swatch, but this one is pigmented. So if I place this on my lips, it's going to change the color. See, it changed the color of my lips because it's intense. So it has the name Intense for a reason. And so that's the last butter gloss. And then, but I do have a soft matte lip cream, and these are really creamy by NYX, and these are basically the same thing as the butter glosses, except they're creams and they're like a soft matte. And so that's what that one is. So it's like a little pink rosy, and it's really cute. I don't think I've ever worn this before, but it's really cute, and I can't wait to wear it. So that's it for NYX. And by the way, these are not all my lip products. I'm just showing you the staple products that I have. So the products that are the most wearable from women of color, and also other women of different skin tones. The products that are the most wearable. I have like reds and all types of stuff down in my makeup collection, but I didn't want to pull all of that out. I just wanted to pull out the staples, the ones that are the most wearable. We're gonna do e.l.f. So e.l.f., I have 3 products from e.l.f. So I have 1 lip gloss and 2 liquid lipsticks. So this is the e.l.f. Lip Plumping Gloss, and I absolutely love this because it's literally a gloss. It's literally just like a gloss with like a hint of a color to it, and then as you can see, it literally has like a hint of a color to it. It reminds me a lot of the Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb, but it has like a cooling sensation. So when you apply it, it has the best cooling sensation ever. So as you can see, it really didn't add that much of a color to my lips. It added a hint of color, but it gives me this soothing sensation, and it's really glossy without being sticky. So I really love it. This is actually one of my favorite lip glosses besides the Fenty Beauty. And then I have this e.l.f. liquid matte lipstick, and I love these because they're not super duper drying on the skin. This is in the color Coffee, and this is what coffee looks like. So it's really dark, and then it kind of blends into my skin once I wear it, like once it dries down. But it's not super duper drying. It literally, you don't feel like you have anything on your lips, to be honest. Like after you're done putting it on your lips, you literally feel like you have nothing on your lips. It's just a regular lip color, and I absolutely love this shade because it's great for women of color. And then this is the shade Praline, and this is also a liquid matte lipstick by e.l.f. And this is also good for women who are not like of color. It's just a great nude for lighter women. So it's a really nice shade as well. And then that's that right there. It's like a rosy mauve tone. it has a rosy mauve tone to it, so it's really like, it's just really good for like white women, Indian women, Asian women, whatever. Like if you have a lighter skin tone than me or darker skin tone than me, it's a really, really good nude shade. So that's it for e.l.f.